just a Q&A, like hangout. There's not too many of us. If people want to wander in later, they're more than welcome. If you want to crack the door, you can let them in. You don't have to close things down. If you have to leave to go pee, I encourage you all to stay. I encourage you all to participate, ask questions, all of that. I'm going to give a brief rundown of who I am and what I do, and I'll make it really brief because I assume if you're here, you know, but maybe not. Maybe you just walked by and saw the sign and you were like, who's this guy? He sounds like he has a made-up name. And walked in and sat. My name is Robbie, and I am a voice actor for anime and video games and animation and all the stuff we nerds love. And I'm based in Los Angeles. I have some friends who brought me out to this con, I think. Someone that I've known from the past who just asked me to come out and be a guest, and I'm super glad to be here. Thank you for so many of you showing up. This is a nice per capita for how many people are out there. It's awesome. Woo! And some of the things you might know me from are Final Fantasy. I play Prompto in the most recent Final Fantasy 15. That's a fun one. I like that one a lot. And I play Tuxedo Mask in Sailor Moon. If you watch Hunter x Hunter, I'm on Toonami right now. I'm playing Crollo. I'm the Big Daddy. And in the new Boruto series and movie that just came out, I'll be playing Mitsuki, one of Team Konohamaru, one of Boruto's homeboys. And then if you want to know anything else, you can just IMDb it. There's like a couple. Oh, Woman Rider from One Punch Man. That's right. All right. And I'm in Gundam Iron Blood and Orphans. I'm trying to think of things that are in Toonami and easily accessible. This is gross. Tales of Hysteria. I play Saray. Persona 5. I play Akechi. Pancakes. You know, when I recorded that line, I was like, this is weird. Why are we talking about pancakes? Why are we so excited? And for those of you who don't know, it became like a weird little meme within the Persona 5 fandom where Akechi gets excited about pancakes. And people send me like weird fan art of like him rolling around in maple syrup and like weird like remixes, but they're remixes of my voice, and it's like I'm like, what am I listening to? It's very weird, but I like it a lot. And then a bunch of other stuff. I've only been doing anime for about since 2014, so about 3 years is when I first started Sailor Moon, which was my very first anime. But I've been a professional voice actor for 9 years, full-time for about 7. When you move to LA, you have to make money, and because it's an expensive place to live. So I did things like, bartending, Kate, all the actor cliches. I did them all in about a 2-year span is what it took me to be able to not have to do those jobs anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with those jobs. Those are great jobs. Some people in LA keep them forever, even if they're actors on TV. But once I started doing that, I was like, I can't make old fashions anymore. I can't do it. And now I continue to work and do conventions when I can. I was only able to come in today and tomorrow, but I'm here to answer your questions. Since I see some smaller faces in the audience, some not little people, but smaller, younger age group, we'll ask you to keep it like, how old are you? 11. We'll ask you to keep it PG-11. Whatever that means. We'll go with PG-13. We'll hope mom or sis or whoever's here with them is okay with PG-13. But other than that, I'll ask it. Sometimes I do late night panels. That's when you can ask the weird stuff, but not today. I'm open to any questions about any things we talked about. Also, if you just have like random pretty loosey-goosey. This is called like a meet and greet like hangout, so that's what we're here to do. So if you have a question, like old school, like 5th grade, if you're 11, I think, throw it in the air and ask your question. We have a Sailor Scout first. That seems appropriate.
So Christina V.
Yes.
In her panel at Anime Matsuri,
said
that she can't picture anyone but you doing Tuxedo Mask.
Well, that's nice.
Did you know that she said that? And could you see who's your dream Scout cast if you had to choose other actors?
Well, every Monday, I text message everyone I know who was at a convention, and I ask if they mentioned me. And no, I didn't know Christina said that. That's very sweet of her. I think this cast is my dream cast. First of all, because of Stephanie. She was one of the first people I met in Los Angeles and one of the first people to help me. I booked a pilot for Warner Brothers my first 2 weeks in LA. And I was like, this is gonna be easy. And I was wrong. It was not easy, but I was really lucky. It was a cool cast, and Stephanie and I played opposite each other. We were two little bunnies who were in love in this little pilot that unfortunately never went anywhere, as a lot of them do. And afterwards, I ran up to her and I was like, hey, you're really nice. Can you help me in voiceover? And looking back on that, I go, oh my God, what was I doing? But thankfully, she's the world's sweetest person. She was like, sure. And she gave me her email, and I asked her questions every once in a while, and we became friends. And then for like 7 years later, to be cast opposite her in my first anime, of course that's what I would pick. That is like my dream Sailor Moon. My dream Sailor Moon is the girl who's playing Sailor Moon right now. I wouldn't change anybody in the cast. Amanda Miller's great, she's a friend. Everyone's become a friend over the last 3 years. And I think they all sound perfectly appropriate. I don't know if you know this, but when we did those English auditions, they sent them to the creator, the original manga and anime creator. Can you help me? Do you know her name?
Naoko.
That sounds right.
I cannot pronounce her.
Great. Well, Naoko, I can't pronounce her name. That was her name. And she gave the check mark on all of us. She said yes or no. So we got final approval, so that felt really good. So no, the scouts are my dream scouts. They are all perfect. Even the new Outer Senshi, they are just right. Mendez and Landa, they all sound really, really, really good. I can't speak for the Monster of the Week or anything like that, but some of those might not be great, but no, they're all good. So yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. I didn't know she said that. Tell her, thank you.
Oh yeah, sure.
For me.
Totally relay that message.
I will too. I'll do something like weird or creepy backstage next time where they're like, I heard you said something nice about me. I'll whisper her in her ear when she's not expecting it. Oh, thank you for telling me that. Yes?
When you were auditioning for One Punch Man, did you anticipate getting the role of Moon Rider?
Yeah, I knew right away. Yeah, because, I read for Genos and I read for Moomin Rider. I didn't read for Saitama. I just didn't feel right for him. Maybe I did, but I didn't feel very good about it. And I did. I auditioned for all three. And then I sent them all off, and then I re-listened to them, which I usually don't do, but I wanted it. Like, I knew I wanted One Punch Man. I wanted to be in the show somehow. So I never do this. I went so far as to write some anime studios that are, there's no such thing as an anime. Voiceover studios that are known for doing some anime. And I was like, hey, if you see this come down the pipe, please think of me. And it's not a common thing to do, and it just happened to be a studio that I worked with. So then when they sent it to me, I went and listened to them like, oh man, I'm gonna get Moomin Rider for sure. Like if I'm gonna get, I'm sure I'm gonna get cast, but if I get any of these parts, it's gonna be that guy. So when I got it, I wasn't overly surprised. That's it. I'm really good at playing ineffectual superheroes. Yeah, really good at it. We need a guy who does nothing. Get Robbie Daymond. But I love the role. Like, I'm super excited. And what's better than only doing 5 or 6 episodes and getting to be one of the fan favorites? I mean, less work, more applause. I'll take it anytime. But I really like the role. Yeah. But did I know that I was gonna get it? No. Did I think of the parts that I auditioned for that would be the one that I got? Absolutely. Yeah. You know your craft after a while. Yeah. Good question. Great question so far. You guys are awesome. Do you feel good?
Yes.
Do you feel affirmed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody go to the sake tasting earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys doing all right? I hope so.
There were only 3 shots. It's fine.
Good. Oh, only 3. Good. Because I was talking to someone before, and they were like, and someone goes, yeah, the more sake you have, the better time you have. And I went, to a certain point. Then the more sake you have after that point, the worse things get. Anyway, go ahead. Let's do, yeah, okay.
What was like working with working on Digimon Try with Joshua Sen and the other returning cast?
Oh, you're a Digimon fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did not work with any of them directly. for those of you who don't know, when we do anime, we're usually by ourselves, so we may not meet the other cast members. But I did meet a lot of them, and what a nice group of people. And a lot of them I had already worked with. I think it was pretty cool that they brought a lot of the original cast back. You know, Joe, I haven't taken over any roles, so like taking over Joe, I was like, I didn't know how big the fandom was. So when we started, we were like, do we want to do it like the original voice? Because I can. We can get closer. And they're like, I don't know. He was very cartoony and young. So these characters now, if you're watching the new Digimon series, they've all grown up. They're a good, 3-4 years older than they're about to finish high school. So, so we wanted to age it up, but keep them a little sort of tight and nerdy and higher pitched. So I like that part. I feel like I didn't really settle into it. Like I watched the movie and I was like, I like it. Not my favorite performance of myself. All the originals, everybody sounded great because they've been doing it for 20 years. So when we got to the second movie, which is more Joe's movie, which is going to be coming out soon, hopefully you guys, the fans will see that we really there was more to work with. It's sort of Joe's movie. So I feel a lot better about that one. But the other cast is great. Everybody sounds awesome. There've been some weird moving and shifting of actors around through it. But I think that's because the characters have aged. And I think that's a little bit of part of it. Some people aren't available anymore. Like the guy who originally did Joe, I don't think he does his voice work anymore. Or if he does, he's not in Los Angeles or somewhere where they could do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and also I saw that on the DVD I have of Try, the premiere party for that just totally surprised me.
Looked like fun, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's it, like a 24-hour car ride to get to LA? The next one they have, you could hop on a Greyhound, I guess. But yeah, it was really fun. Had seen the original cast there. The fans are awesome. Somebody gave me a dope necklace with whatever Joe's crest, honesty, I want to say.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. And I was like, yeah, just random people give me jewelry. I'll take it. Yeah, great fandom. I love the Digimon folks. They're awesome. Let's do right there.
Okay.
Yes.
So in Persona 5,
No spoilers.
Until then, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay.
I don't want Atlas suing me.
Oh, Atlas burn.
I've never seen anyone really aggressively voice act like you and Max Middleman, specifically when you summon your personas. So what was it like playing Akechi and really getting to scream when you summon, or just playing the role in general?
Akechi was fun. I had a lot of fun with that character once they explained to me what it was, and without getting too much spoilery stuff, there's a turn. Yeah, the summons were fun, because they told us I know they told Max the same thing. Max and I could go big. And I think Max Middleman's a friend. He plays Saitama, One Punch Man, and a bunch of other anime stuff. If you don't know him, you should follow his stuff. He's a great actor and a good friend. And yeah, they kind of, I feel like they let us go for it a little bit, and the directors wanted something bigger. So I believe I have 2 summons, I think. I haven't played through all of my stuff. But my second one, I was really able to kind of just go for it, and they saved me. They were like, okay, you're gonna do a little bit of a session, and then we're gonna do all this big crazy stuff, all of the huge things that happen that happen. Boy, I'm bad at being vague. Yeah, so it was a blast. They kind of just let the reins out a little bit, but then they reined it in for the more subtle stuff, because you had to play the turn, you had to play the subtext of knowing the character's motivations, and have little moments where that peeks through, so that it's not just a really weird, bizarre character turn when it happens. So yeah, the summons were dope. I need to remember what mine are so I can do it. So I can was it Robin Hood?
Robin Hood.
Robin Hood? What's the other one? Anybody know?
I can't say that one.
Oh, you can't say that one. Yeah. Yeah. We'll just stick with Robin Hood. Do. Don't sue us. Play the game. But that's a tough one though, because it's been out for a little bit, but it's 140 hours long if you want to make it 140 hours long. And my character doesn't really become prevalent until 40 hours in. So yeah, it's no spoilers. Go play it. Anybody else? Let's do. I am blinded. I will get to you in a second, because I know you have an involved question. Is that my boy? Who's that? Yeah. Oh, how's it going? We hung out at the mixer. Let's do a lady person right there.
I'm a lady person.
You are.
Okay, so you were talking about how you have voice acted opposite friends of yours.
Mm-hmm.
So just to frame this question a little, one time I had to write a romance between Troy Baker and Nolan North, and when they got in the booth, they were like cracking jokes about romancing each other.
Okay.
So is your performance ever shaped by like who
My
you
romantic
know you're
feelings for other men?
acting?
Not.
Whoa. Is it ever shaped by
Unless it's Ray Chase.
Is it ever shaped by knowing you're acting opposite friends?
What did you, wait, you said you wrote something for them?
Yeah.
Like for them to do?
Yeah.
Did they do it? What do you do?
Oh, I write video games.
Well, that's the way to frame your question.
Sorry.
Thank you for giving me words to say. So you wrote a scene for them to do,
Yeah.
and they did it, and they were making jokes.
Yeah. Because they know each other, they thought it was funny that they were.
Totally. Okay,
This
now I
was
get
supposed to be about you.
So you're saying when me, yeah, but look, this is a meet and greet, a Q&A. You said something, I'm asking more questions. You mean like if I'm in the booth with Ray and we're friends, does that shape our performance?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Does chemistry shape a performance? Absolutely. You can't like when you see somebody on screen. You can't deny that when you see two actors that have chemistry, it's perceptible. You can see it, right? I mean, that's when they do something in our business called a chemistry read. Do you guys, anybody know what that is? It's basically once you've made it past auditions and made it past callbacks and you're up for something really big, and you know a relationship's going to be a big part of it. The studio executives will bring you in to do a chemistry read with whoever you'll be acting across from, because they need to see if there's chemistry or not. If Robert Pattinson and a sleepy girl, what's her name in Twilight? Kristen Stewart. If they didn't have chemistry, which I think they do in those films quite a bit, obviously, because weren't they a thing for a little bit? Yeah. You can feel that, you can see it, and that allows the audience to participate in it. So being friends with someone like Matt Mercer, like if we did this game called Masquerada, and it was very acting. There was a lot of scenes going on, very story-driven. It was much easier to work off of him than a complete stranger when you're in the same room. I did a show for Nickelodeon years ago called Breadwinners. We did 2 seasons, 80 episodes, and it was me and Eric Bauza. And Eric Bauza became a great friend because we worked together every day, or every Tuesday for like 3.5 years. So of course our chemistry was better. Does that mean I can't create chemistry by myself as an actor? No, of course. Because a lot of times when you're if you're doing anime or video games, the person's not there. So when that person's not there, you don't really have a lot to go off of. Maybe you have a pre-recording. So you need to create an imaginary partner for you to interact with. Anybody ever taken an acting class? Yes or no? A couple of you guys? Do you guys remember having to create an imaginary partner for your monologues? Right.
Given circumstances.
A given circumstance, exactly. That's like sort of acting 101, 102, 103 kind of stuff. Where if I'm by myself in a room, much like that is, I have an imaginary partner that is either someone that I know, which I don't prefer that method, like make it your sister, your mom, your brother, your best friend, someone you hate. Then you're putting your own stuff into the role. But you have somebody that you work off of. So in my mind's eye for Knocked, I had Ray's voice and his personality and his portrayal of the character, but I also had my imagination of what I know that character to be in case I recorded first. So yes, this is a long answer to a pretty easy question. Does chemistry affect the read? Absolutely. Is it possible for two people to have chemistry that have never met? Absolutely. Yeah, so it's a little bit of both. Yeah, is it satisfactory? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, good. You're doing this nod where your head's kind of going in circles, like you're like, yeah, man. Let's do another lady because we did 3 guys in a row. There you go.
So this is more about voice acting itself.
Sure, I'm trying to take you seriously. So your little exclamation point. I'm like, trying to look in your eyes. I'm looking at your dongle. What is your cosplay?
When it comes to taking on a new role.
Nope. Me first. What's your cosplay?
I'm just doing like a Warcraft NPC kind of thing.
Awesome. Thank you. Now you guys are
Okay.
Come on, meet and greet. I can't do all the meeting. Yes.
So when it comes to taking on a new role, how do you make things like accents, tones, patterns of speech, how do you make that feel more natural and sound more natural?
Well, that's hard because sometimes the writing is not very natural. Substitute natural for good. Just like when you produce a lot of content, not everything is going to be quality, and budget matters. So if I've got a writer who's good and I've got a writer who's better, but I've only got enough money for the good writer, I'm going to hire the good writer. Same happens when I have even less money. You get where I'm going with this? So, so that can be tough. When you're lying, like I will literally be in a session sometimes and I will lose my mind. I'll just be like, no human would say this. No human would put these words together in this order. And that makes me sound like I'm some bougie jerk in the booth. But there are moments when I do that. And think about it. If you're adapting anime, not only do you have to you get a raw translation, and then you have to make it make sense, but stay honest with the Japanese or the fans will crucify you. And then also make it fit a flapping mouth. And you have to do thousands of these in like a month or two because they're due to go up on Crunchyroll in a month. Yo, that's hard. So not every line's gonna be gold. So as an actor, that's your job, is to work with the material that you're given. So how do you go about that? You just have to believe in the given circumstance that you're in. And that is like step number one. Because if you're a really bougie, crappy actor, you could sit there the whole day and be like, ugh, this is terrible. All right, blah, 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 this is how it should sound. And if you're kind of the tough part is if you're kind of a good actor, you can do that. You ever heard of about phoning it in? You know what that means, right? You're just phoning it in. You're like, oh, this sounds right. This character sounds what it's supposed to sound like. He's yelling when he's supposed to yell. He's crying when he's supposed to cry. But is it natural? Is it real? Is it connected to a thought and a feeling? Is it connected? Do those thoughts and feelings generate an emotion? Do you get an impulse to have an action? Like it's totally acting. That's the thing about voice acting. What's the second part? It's acting, and I think it's the first part. I think the voice part is just the descriptor of what you're doing. So believing in those given circumstances and working within them, fine. So if I say to you, okay, you're a 40-foot tall, pink-haired fairy knight, and you're fighting an 80-foot tall monkey monster, and your line is believe it. You know what I mean? Like how? Well, okay. How do I connect to that? So you pick an action, you play the action, and set up given circumstances, and you just go for it, whether the line's good or bad. And then that's all you can do as an actor, is just your job. All of this stuff is collaborative, just like a play, just like a movie, just like TV, just like cartoons. It takes a whole group of people. And your job is to believe in the material and do it to the best of your abilities. And if in the back of your head you're jaded and you're going, ugh, it's gonna come through. So I'm not saying like I'm perfect. There are days where I go in and I'm just like, oh no. Not this. What is this? This is so dumb. I've seen this trope 1,000 times. Don't make me do this. And then I throw that away, and I do it. And that's hopefully how you get an honest performance. That you got to get out of your own head. But is that what you were asking?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Why am I so insecure about my answers? Oh, validate me. Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll go here.
So, out of all of your lovely taglines as Prompto, are there any that are particularly memorable to you because of the content of them, or any that you just really attached to?
You know, I've been so like awash with the fandom that I feel like my own opinions have gone away and I've just accepted whatever they like. It's true, no, because I would have been like, oh, I like this. I forgot what line I liked. I just know what's popular, and I realize it's popular because they're good. Let's celebrate by eating something dead is a great line because it's so dumb and weird and random, but so appropriate. I would say as far catchphrases, what is it? Oh, hello, opening.
Hi there.
Oh, hi there, opening. That's right. I should know that better. What a weird line. I have a question for you, and no panel's ever gotten it right. Ready? So after one of my special lines, I whistle. And there's just a little brief little whistle, and it's under there. Maybe you've heard it 1,000 times, maybe you thought it was a bird sound effect. But it's there. It's a whistle right after a line. And it is from something. And it's 7 notes. Does anybody know what it's from?
Kill Bill?
Nope. Anybody? Guess it's not today. Listen for it next time you play. It's from something. It's from the same universe.
Final Fantasy VII.
Incorrect.
13.
No.
Incorrect.
Is it Double Thing?
Incorrect. Next question. And I also like this one. I like from myself because I did play the game. I played the game and beat it. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, I think I beat it in 5 days. But I played through it like all the time, and I also like had to just park the car and live tweet and pause for a minute. So I probably could have beat it much faster. So I guess I put in like, I think I beat it about 40 hours, so I put in about 8 hours a day while I was still working and doing voiceover stuff. And I think the line I love and hate the most is, Imperials above us! Because that's one of those lines I just went for, and it plays all the time. That's one of your most common random encounters, right? And I think it's like one of the only cues for that random encounter, because I guess, I don't know, Prompto sees it before anybody else. And every time it would come on, I'd be like, oh, shut up. So you don't really want to fight those guys. They suck for XP, and sometimes they're a pain in the butt. Ugh. But that's like my most favorite and lead, because I know it annoys people, and I kind of like that. But then it annoys me, and I kind of hate it. It's funny with that game, I've told this before, when I first started playing, like the first day, I lived with my girlfriend, and she'll be doing all of her stuff, running around. When I first started playing, a couple of times, she'd be like in the other room, and I'd just have the sound up, and she'd go, "What, babe?" And like, "No, it's in the game. It's me in the game." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Never mind. It's nothing." I didn't really tell her until like the third time that she did it. I was like, "Babe, I'm playing this game. I'm in the game. I say random stuff all the time." She's like, "Oh." I get it. She's like a zero gamer. I did make her play Slender Man once. That was great. Yeah. Made her play Slender, and on the console, which is extra hard because like she doesn't. You meet anybody who does a game and you have dual stick controls and you say this one moves your person and this one moves the camera, but how you move the camera affects how the person goes. And they just go and spin around. That's kind of a good one. But she got the hang of it pretty quick after like 30 minutes. Well, because you can't really die in the first 30 minutes. I mean, you can, but you get really bad. And it was great. She was just like, and it was actually scarier for me playing it because I knew she couldn't control it. It was like I was in the body of a person who couldn't control their limbs, who had to run away from something really scary. Oh man, that was fun and awful. Yes, next question. You've already asked it. Let's do somebody who hasn't asked one yet. Yes, Brandon.
Okay, this one is more about like a more recent game for Fire Emblem Echoes.
Oh, yeah.
With like, because I know like in the game with like the support conversations, your character Tobin has like conversations with like Ray, who's voiced by Max Middleman.
Yeah.
Like, did you like? And I know that you said like with voice acting for anime and games, a lot of the time you're in different rooms or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But with that in mind, I'm sorry, I'm bad at wording, so.
No, you're doing great.
So with that in mind, was it how easy was it to like imagine the banter like in Max Middleman's voice?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Easy. Max and I have a good friendship, and we also had each other for that one. I think we recorded that in we did that whole thing in like 2 days. We really moved through it. And he had done some first, and then he got to hear mine, and we worked off of each other. But yeah, I know Max's work. Max knows mine. We kind of knew how to play each other off of each other. But I want to clarify too, it's not all just us making these acting choices. We've got great directors and producers who guide us and lead us, who kind of go, all right, well, you know, Gray Max is kind of the more, cocky or whatever, and Tobin's more concerned about his family. He's a little bit tougher, more straight-laced. And then they're like, oh, okay. And then imagining what Max is gonna sound like, telling me to shut up, like easy, because that happens in real life, like every day. So that is nice. But if it wasn't Max, we would have had awesome directors and producers to help us. Like the director of Final Fantasy, Keith, he knew everyone's performances so well. When he read you in, meaning gave you the line that directly precedes yours, he was like, his performance was really close to what the other person would do. He would know what Gladio sounded like. He knows what Ignis would sound like. And he wasn't necessarily doing a voice, but the performance that he would give would be evocative of that character, and it was really easy to work off of. And he's a really great actor's director. And I would say the same for a lot of the people who do these long-form games that have a big story, because they have to be, because you can't connect all the pieces. No way. So with Max, it was a little bit easier. Yeah. Like the director of Sailor Moon, Susie, the way we start every session, she comes in and goes, okay, so the girls are looking for the silver crystal, but the silver crystal's in another dimension, and the other dimension's controlled by these people, and she lays it on me because it's Tuxedo Mask, and I go, hello, and then I go away. So you really do rely on a good director to sort of make sure that you're not messing up the story. Yeah, it's a big part of it. Yeah, these are great questions. You guys are killing it! Best. Let's go in the back, all the way in the back.
I was just wondering, do you have like a wall of just like all the people you've ever done?
All the what?
Like a picture of anybody you've ever done, like a wall? It's like a shrine.
We're talking about cartoons, right? I'm just kidding. That was PG-13, right? Right over her head. She didn't get it. I have a vanity shelf. Yeah. No, I don't have a giant picture that I add. I'm just kind of like picturing myself after every new session, like looking back at it and sticking it up there. Like, yes, more for my wall. No, because that's kind of what the internet is. You know what I mean? Kind of, actually, that's a really good description of the internet. No, there's great sites like IMDb and BTVA, and they help me keep track of like what episodes I am. Actually, you know, in my phone, every time I finish a session that's something new, I put in what episode I did and what character I did. Because I'd like to chronicle my own stuff, not out of vanity, just out of like, well, I don't know what my resume is, and that's nothing bad to ever track. Because sometimes you'll go into a bit part and be like, oh yeah, I was in that thing. I do have in my office, for those of you who watch our Twitch stream of me and Max and Ray, in my office is just like all nerd stuff. Like I have hundreds of pops, I collect pops, and I have like a bunch of like signed stuff and figures, and that was like all spread around my big like sort of 2,000 square foot like duplex. And then I moved in with my girlfriends. And then you have to go, oh no, I can't put this everywhere. You get a room. Just one room for all of your stuff. So that's my office. And in my office, I have, I call it my vanity shelf, but it's really just like DVDs, Blu-rays, video games. I do try to buy, if it's not given to me by the company, I try to buy a copy of everything that I do. And for video games, I always buy the most expensive version of it, which is expensive. Like the Final Fantasy one, I was like, sure you can't give me one of these? It's $300 and I have to wait a year for it. But no, yeah, so I have that shelf. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have kids, but I might someday. Maybe they won't be little jerks and they'll be interested in what dad does. I don't know. I want to watch some anime from the 90s. Who knows, man? But yes, actually, no, I don't have the creepy sticker board. Yes, I do collect some things that I'm in. Yeah. Ooh, and if there's ever a toy of a character that I do, yeah, I get into it. I sign them too for myself. Is that gross? gross. I always thought it was kind of normal. I was like, well, if I die, my girlfriend can sell my stuff. And no, I do, I signed them all. Ew, I don't like me anymore. Gross. I collect that kind of stuff, yes. Totally outing myself there. Of course, my friend in the front's recording too. The internet's gonna be like, Robbie Daymond signs all his own memorabilia. That's what the internet sounds like. Yes?
I just want clarification from something you said earlier. Did you say the entire voice work for Fire Emblem Echoes took 2 days for you?
No, my portion of it.
Okay.
My portion of it. I was able, we did two 4-hour sessions. When we, in video games, when you're moving, you can average anywhere between like 300 and 500 cues per session if you're moving. Like, and that's 8 to 1,000 in 2 sessions, and that's a lot of lines for one character in a video game. A lot of things are duped and spread out and all of that stuff. No, the voice work for that took, I don't know. I assume weeks and weeks or months. Yeah. Who published? It's Nintendo, right? But who did the work? Whoever that company is, I know where we recorded. Whoever that company is, they do really like detailed and quality work. We moved, but I did a lot of takes. So, yeah. No, not 2 days for the whole thing. Everybody get in here, we're making a game! Hurry up! They want it. Yes, right here.
First off, here's a comment. You are not gross, you're great.
Aww. I like gross better.
Also, how often do you do Twitch streams?
We try to do them once a week. I have this group. It was born out, so Ray and I, this is going to be a long answer to a short question. How often do you do Twitch streams? All right, buckle up. Ray and I figured out that after Final Fantasy, in 2016, Ray Chase and I, who plays Noctis, we realized we were in 28 different things together in 2016. Many of them we were opposite each other. 28 projects that we were in the same thing. Max and I somewhere around like 15 or 16. So we were like, guys, we're at these same conventions. What if we just make sure all 3 of us get booked and we do a live show? And it'll keep us sane. So, you know, because I love doing conventions, but like it can kind of be like, you can kind of like start to feel like you're in this, you know what I mean? When it just becomes a big blur, and you don't want that. You want to interact with people and get into something else. So it's like, why don't we entertain these people? So I kind of also had the idea of Johnny Young Bosch brings his band sometimes to some of the things that he does. And I was like, well, Johnny can bring his band, the 3 of us can do a show. So we came up with Loud, Annoying, and Very Annoying, which is what the 3 of us are, and that was the name of our group, Lava for short. And then like 2 months ago, Max was like, you want to stream? And I'm old, and I was like, what's that? And we started doing Twitch streams. So we do them every Friday. Obviously, we did a new one last night because I wasn't there, but Max and Ray did a surprise one that was unannounced. And they did their Twitch stream. And it's so bizarre because more people recognize me from those silly streams than all the work I've done in the last 10 years. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, the internet. So, you know, people are clipping it and like, somebody made a clip and somebody viewed it, you know, like 75,000 times on YouTube. And I'm like, what is this? I don't know, I don't remember doing this. So, yeah, every Friday, if days that we can't do it on Friday, we try to do it on Wednesdays. Our Twitch channel is just Loud Annoying, and it's accurate. We're very loud and very annoying, but people like it. So, is that your only question?
Yeah, it was.
That's a long answer for her very short question. I'll type it up. What do we got? I got like 17 minutes. Let's do prompting. I don't cry, I'm a man! I don't cry! You know what's weird? I almost cried in Wonder Woman. Like, I know this sounds weird, but I read the, during the fight scenes, I got emotional. And I was like, why am I getting emotional? And I was like, I don't know, maybe it was all the femininity just hit me in the face. And then I looked over, and I didn't cry though, I almost cried. My girlfriend did, and I looked over and she was crying, and I was like, you're emotional too? I'm like, yes, like, it's beautiful. And then I went online like a day later, and it was like, why are women bursting into tears during Wonder Woman fight scenes? It was like, am I a woman? Did I cry at the end? Well, no. And I know it's a disappointing answer, and it's because I knew. I did it already. So my experience of the game was probably a little different than your experience of it, because I knew the majority of the arc. I did have very surprising moments that I got. I had like during my live tweet, I was emotionally affected. Absolutely. At the end of it, I was definitely emotionally affected. Did I cry? No, I'm not a big crier. But were the emotions in my chest places cry-like? Yes. Did I allow them to come forth? No. No! I can't remember the last video game I cried at. Like, Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite games of all time. I mean, top 2. I can't really pick. And I didn't even cry at the end of that one. And I thought that was very emotional. It's all about daddy issues and love. And just like Final Fantasy 15 was about daddy issues and love. But no, I was the first video game, Final Fantasy 15, that affected me emotionally that I played in a long time. So I think it did its job in that zone. I think that's what it was for. Yeah, I did not personally cry. I picked a group shot. I picked the selfie with Prompto. But just because I had an emotional connection to that character, because he was my character. And, but it was not like an overly prompt, it wasn't like half his face and then everybody else. It was like one of the good ones, where it was him and the guys in the background really well posed, and it was from a good part of the game. That's the photo that I picked, yeah. Or was it Cindy's? No. It was definitely the guys. Yeah, it was a selfie though. I'm sure it's on Twitter somewhere because I posted it. I posted my in-game cap thing. Yeah. What did you pick? Yeah. Duh. Look at you. I want to get to you guys with anybody who hasn't asked a question. I'm feeling blind. Let's do right there. Yes.
First, related to streams, the stream you did with Adam literally saved my life. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yay!
So,
and that was like the most idiotic one. We were literally all at dinner and Max was like, you wanna go stream? And I'm like, what's that? And we literally went and like hooked up. I think the first 15 minutes of that is us like hooking up the PlayStation 4, like not being able to figure it out. Yeah, that was a blast. Yeah, that was just like an impromptu thing. Impromptu? Get out. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Did you have a question about it?
Yeah, I did. Well, not about that. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, thanks.
So.
Yes. What's your question?
So aside from Prompto, or if it's not Prompto, who is your favorite from Final Fantasy 15? It could be.
Oh, from Final Fantasy 15. Art. Yeah.
More than Prompto?
No.
More than Prompto?
No, I love Art. But as a character, I love Darren's performance. I did not play in Japanese. I know the Japanese. I don't know them, but like I've heard them. Arden for sure. I'm a sucker for like a tragic villain. I love it. Is that me?
No.
That's my alarm. I was like, take your birth control. What the? This isn't my fault. Anytime someone's alarm goes off at noon, that's always what I assume it is. Anyway. Yeah, Arden for sure. 100%. I hope we get an episode, Arden. That would be awesome. But I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Unofficial. Camera guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. You're welcome. Let's keep moving. Bunny ears.
How nerve-wracking was it to voice act for episode Prompto? Because I'm like super excited for that.
Ooh, well, it's not an episode. I'm excited about it, but not too much because I know him. I know that character now, inside and out. We've been working on it for almost 3 years, so it's like, it's just like, you know, stepping into
Are we gonna cry when we play it?
Oh man. I don't know. I told you already, I'm not much of a crier. you're gonna feel cold because I shiver a lot. If you have any kind of empathy, you're gonna be like, ooh, turn this down a little bit. Yeah, it's a journey. It's exciting. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna cry. You're gonna love it. You might cry, but is it all sad? Poor little Prompto. You guess you'll find out. Yes, Mercy, sure.
So you said you really wanted the One Punch Man project before you got the role.
Say it a little louder, I'm sorry.
You said you really wanted the One Punch Man role before you actually had the role?
Yes.
You knew you wanted that? Are there any things coming up soon that you like really want to be in?
Yes. Yeah, I got a couple of them this year. I got to be in Star Wars, The Rebels. That was a big one for me. I played, unfortunately I died in the same episode that I was in. It was a really good part, so I don't care. I was in Wikipedia and I got to be an Inquisitor. And I was in 2 episodes. I was in the finale of season 2 and all sorts of cool stuff happens. So that one was one I got to check off. I was like, sweet, in Wikipedia, good. Final Fantasy was one for me, check that one off. What can I say? Boruto's a big one because I was a huge Naruto fan. So knowing that that's the next generation and it's going pretty darn well, being in that is a big one for me. Things that I want. God dang it! What we're filming. I would give you hints, but they're all too obvious. Yeah, I'm playing a really fun 12 episode. I hesitate to use the word shonen. That's not the right word. It's not overly shonen-y, but it's like a violent, dramatic, scary, action, well-produced, dope anime that I'm doing the lead in, and hopefully we'll get to announce that super soon. It's super violent and scary and fun. It's a great show. So that, and I am playing. Okay, I'm playing a superhero, mainstream. So we talked a lot about anime and video games. I've only been doing anime and video games for like I said, about 3 years. I've been doing voiceover for twice as long. So I started in animation, and I've still been working in animation, but it's very slow. In the time I've done anime, I've done tens and tens and tens of shows. Animation, you only get to do a couple because it takes so long to produce. So I'm doing a traditional animated superhero who's very well known and very well loved. And I should be able to announce that within the month. It's just not now. So if we had a good time and you like this, just come find me on Twitter. I'm really good at I'm not a good follow backer, but what I am good is if you tweet at me, I'll reply and talk and and I'll read your stuff. So I'm really good at that. So come find me then and I'll be able to spill the beans in about a month. But until then, I can't do anything or I get my life taken. I can't tell you Marvel or DC either because it's too obvious. All right, yay! Yeah. I'm playing Thanos! Totally miscast! I'm Thanos! Strongest creature in the universe! Nobody would watch that. I do know the guy who plays Thanos. He's the world's biggest man. His name is Isaac. God, I wish I could remember his last name. You have to look it up. He's been the voice of Thanos for a while. Oh my God. I met him and, I'm about 6 feet tall, about 220 pounds. I'm not a small guy. I met this guy and I felt like a child. I mean, he's gotta be 6'6" plus. And he's ripped like a house. He's like Michael Clark Duncan, but bigger. It's amazing. You have to look up this guy. He's just a giant man. And his voice, he plays Thanos, it's just like, oh, my soul. I mean, it's unbelievably low. It rattles the room. So cool. Great voice actor. Cool guy. Anyway, I went on a tangent. He's a weird dude. Yeah. He's not a weird dude. He's a really nice, normal dude. He just has a weird instrument. You know what I mean? Like the universe is just like, make this guy sound like I'm a badass. It did. Sorry, great. So we got about 7 minutes. I promise I'll keep my questions shorter. We'll do like kind of a speed round. Not a lightning round, but a speed round. We'll start. I already got right there. Yes.
My favorite line in 15 is when you say, "You ask where Gladio is," and they say he's on It's picking up chicks and then you say son of a bitch.
Oh yes!
Yeah.
That's right, PG-13. But I think it goes something like, son of a bitch! Like, he's just like, he's thinking about it. He's like, I can't believe it! Where's he at? And now we know at episode Gladio, that's absolutely not what it was doing.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that's funny. Did you have a question about that one?
No, that's it. It's funny.
You just wanted the,
Thank you very much.
tricked me.
Yeah.
Tricked me into doing a quote. Nice work. Who else? Yes, right in front.
What happened in Tales of Xperia, the X in season 2 after episode 5?
You literally just asked the ultimate con question that I'm unable to answer. You literally went, in season 2, episode 5, what happened? I go, oh, I have no idea!
You stopped and you weren't there.
What happened?
You stopped and you weren't there. Like, what happened to the voice actor?
Oh!
Yes.
Oh, and it was Bryce.
Yeah.
I did Bryce Packard covered for me for 3 episodes. This is how I know a lot of you and I are friends on social media. I had a vocal injury. I was out of commission for almost 6 weeks. 4 total. I had a hemorrhage on my right vocal cord, so I was unable to speak at all for about. Well, I could, but I was on vocal rest. Yeah. So I had an injury, just like. I know it's a terrible equation, but like a professional athlete, like I tore something, and I was off. But I went back, we did them all, redid them all, so if you got to hear Bryce on that broadcast, that's what you got to hear, and then when it comes out on home Blu-ray, it'll be me. Yeah. Cool, good question. I got hurt. I wish there was a cooler answer to that. I was like, pulled a baby out of a burning building. Burned my nostril shut, man. It's really weird anyway. Cool. Yes, right there.
Not as Tobin, but as you. Your dream Fire Emblem class.
My dream Fire Emblem class? We got a name for me.
Archer.
Archer. No, it's true. Is Tobin an archer?
I made him one.
Really?
Yeah.
That is always the class that I pick whenever I play any kind of, because I'm Native American. I feel like it's like genetic. Like all I want to do is just creep around and shoot people from the trees. Yeah. That's not racist because I'm Native American and I can say that. I always pick archer class. Whenever there's an option in any kind of game, that's like my go-to. A little ranged, but then if you need to, you can come in and just kind of shake him and then Now you know a lot about me. Yes, in the back. You assassin? Are you an assassin?
No, I'm the hunter from Bloodborne.
Oh, Bloodborne! That game's hard. Nice!
Wow. But so let's say you got a phone call. You got any role you want because they're either redubbing, they're going to do an initial dub, the guy who's doing it mysteriously vanished. Whether it's video game, anime, animation, you name it. What role would you pick?
I'm playing it right now, and if you follow me on Twitter, you'll find out in a month! I'm literally playing my dream role right now, like my #1 role. So I'll pick an alternate, and I'm gonna pick something that I would never be cast as, so I don't take a job from one of my friends. And I'll pick anime because we're at an anime convention, and my answer is Guts from Berserk. Because it would be tragic miscasting, but it's one of my favorite roles in anime, and I would love to play that character. I feel like I could play that character, but it would just not be right. Yeah. Keiji's doing a great job, and Mark Jarson was great back in the day, and the Japanese actor's great too. But I really like that character. Yeah. So is that it? Yeah. That's how my audition would have been. Robbie Daymond? I don't get it. Yes. Behind you. No, you and then behind you. Yeah. You. Hat first, then not hat.
Could you sing a line from Last Surprise?
From what?
From Last Surprise.
What is that?
The Persona 5 theme song.
No.
Oh, come on, I've never seen it.
Because what you asked was, could I? And the actual answer to that is no, I don't know how that goes. Would I if I did know? Yes. How's it go?
You'll never see it coming.
Spoiler alert, that's exactly how I would sound. Perfect. Wait, you're Lady Prompto! You got exactly what you asked for! Perfect. I would sing it if I know it, but I don't. I'll learn it, so next time you ask me, I'll be able to sing it. Yes.
Is episode Prompto that's coming out, is that his journey to like a secret wedding with Noctis?
And that would be called episode Promptus. And no. You'll just have to save that for archive of our own. Anybody else? I have exactly 30 seconds. Who's got a good question? Right there. It's all on you. If this question is bad, you ruin the battle. Why no?
If you don't mind me asking, what is your tribe?
What's my tribe? It's hard to say. My dad left when I was an itty bitty baby, so I have no idea. I just had my genetics done, and my regional location for my Native American side is right in a little circle where the Hopi and the Apache live.
Oh, wow.
So somewhere in the Southwest, and those are the odds are they told me I was either one of those two tribes. It's really hard to narrow tribes down by genetics, but I would have to go and find my long lost dad and. It's got really dark here. I'm just kidding. I don't have daddy issues. Let's do one more question. That was a great question. Thank you for asking. It's hard for me to know. I thought my whole life I was Blackfoot and Cherokee. That's what my family told me. They were like, "Well, we think he was Blackfoot and Cherokee." And then I went and got my genetics done. They're like, "Nope. My buddy thought he was Mexican and found out he was Indian. And another buddy think he was Middle Eastern and found out he was Eastern Indian." Get your genetics done. That's how we end the panel with the 23andMe commercial. I'm just kidding. One more question. In the back, one more.
When you're cast as a role, if there's gonna be like a next season, are you automatically like recast, or do they have to cast you?
I'm not automatically cast for anything. Yes, if there's a season 2, as long as the contract stays the same, I will do it. Are you asking about something specific?
Woman writer.
Well, I don't think anybody's gonna replace me. If they do, they'll have to fight me. And I'll start off the fight with the Justice Tackle! We'll have a fun time, you guys. I'll meet the other actors. It's nice to meet you all.